But if you're going to play football in Arizona, a dome and air conditioning, those are two good things to have, and we've got both here at State Farm Stadium, just west of downtown Phoenix. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Arizona Cardinals. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. The Cardinals at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around a finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Hassan Reddick.
Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
Makes the score Raiders 7, Cardinals nothing.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Got a man. It's Judy, complete. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe he didn't want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. As the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next quarterbacks driving at the line, the Cardinal offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play action. Now it's Murray. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated, under pressure again, and down he goes again. Max Crosby drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is taken at the 23. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And some room to work. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 23-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They'll run right here with Swift. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And a little careless. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders will take over here just shy of the 30. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And some room to roll now. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Back to throw. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
The offense schemed, going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught left side by Judy. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, they see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. On second down, Swift.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. 33 yards that time.
From the gun, here's Swift.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
He'll get this off to Swift.
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing now is Murray. And the Raiders have got him. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback. And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of his hands to the receiver. In this case,
and this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now an option play, and he'll keep it.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
This will be caught. Judy.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 32-yard line. They got 29 yards that time. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 2nd and 12, Murray.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. Murray now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. Murray to air it out again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. No, he stays out. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
A loss of a yard.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance.
A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackler used his strength and swallowed him up.
Back to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10.
Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the 3rd at SoFi Stadium.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the 1st half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here into the hands of Jones. 2nd and 4.
Play fake. Murray rolling to his left. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field, and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you are closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Vegas. He'll return it from the 6. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line.
72 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 22, Murray. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. First down, Murray. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him 32 on the play. Here's Murray. He finds West. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. 40 yards. And the Cards have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Rosas good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives? And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and the Cards are going to take possession of the football. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. The left side completion to Jones. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down.
They'll try it now with Swift. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And the Cardinals are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, mission accomplished, and now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble. But theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Right back to Swift again on second down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Murray going to fire one out wide. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Now Murray. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And some room to maneuver. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Here's Swift.
And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation.
Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Well, what a thrilling fourth quarter this one was. Well, at least I guess if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a 1-touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to end up losing that ball game. Give credit where credit is due. They came off the pace and got it done.
So for Arizona, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season.
And they'll get to stay home again next week as Washington comes to town. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
the early